Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. His fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
It's
Here
a
comes
shakedown.
the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, Kick Dig back here, and welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast, or I should say, the World Champion podcast
Woo!
of
Yes.
YouTube. Eagles Nation, you are champions. You are Super Bowl mother humping champions, and today they all bent the knee. They're bending the knee like nothing I've ever seen. It's a beautiful thing. Are you tired of winning? I am not. Get ready. Joey Shakes, how you feeling?
BTA, bro. It was BTA. It was domination. It was embarrassment. It was just this team being locked in and what was being said the last couple weeks. And man, just amazing, dude. We took care of business, and we thought we'd get a little bit of separation this game and win, but we felt good about going to this game and winning, but we did a lot more than that.
Oh, so. Yeah, we definitely did. Daz, what is up? I am Bruce. What is up? Mystic, Paw-Paws, Daniel, Dante, Easy is his name, Iron Wolf, Jersey Dolphins. Thank you guys so much for being here. Jaden, Fa, Dawson, Mean Metal Mike, what's going on? A Warrior Rage. Thank you guys. New Zealand Philly fan, Chubbs, Malone, Sheena, Trey, JJ Rock Philly, Big Sarge, Dave Sports Quest, what's up, buddy? Jeff, Joey, Daniel San, where's Mr. Miyagi? Petey Tatted, Mustafa, and everybody that if I missed, I apologize, but welcome to the show. This is one where we get to celebrate today. We get to celebrate a world championship. Yeah. Emmett Blacks, thank you for the super chat. Chiefs first half, 23 yards. Eagles, 24 points. You know what's so beautiful is having to watch the narrative change in that game, where it was all about the Chiefs at kickoff time, about the three-peat and Patrick Mahomes being the greatest, maybe even over Tom Brady, and then it changes to the Eagles defense, and then all of a sudden Jalen Hurts, and it was a beautiful thing, man. It was
this was even that first half. It was like 33 passing yards for Patrick Mahomes. I think the largest deficit. I think the separation the Eagles had points in that first half. I forgot what the score was before the half ended, but I know it was the largest in Super Bowl history, which was kind of insane. But yeah, it totally changed throughout the game. Totally changed. No doubt. Yeah. We didn't win the coin toss, so we were like, oh man, here we go. We wanted to get the ball in the second half. We were hoping for it. We didn't get it. So we need to say, all right, we need to put as much points on the board in that first half as possible, because we're going to be fighting the refs later on. We're going to be dealing with some stuff. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. Arrows to thank you for super chat. He goes, we need to resign Bourne and Milton ASAP. Oh, I agree. I don't know what's going to happen with Milton. I really don't. Bourne to me is like a must sign,
yes.
a must sign. And let me get these super chats out of the way and we'll continue to talk. Lonely Start, thank you for super chat. They said my quarterback couldn't throw the ball. Stop playing with us. Allen, Burrow, Lamar, all bums. Yeah, I mean, we've said this all year, especially in this time. I mean, we said Jalen Hurts can throw the ball if he needs to, but many of the games, he just does what is needed. When it was needed for him to throw, I give Kansas City Chiefs credit. They did a great job against Barkley, But I was like, okay,
They
well, now Hurts can beat you with his arm.
they
And he has
sold
no problem
out.
doing it.
They sold out because realistically, like I don't think KC's been really good against the run defensively all year, but they really most of their game plan went into stacking the box and stopping Saquon, and they did. He only averaged 2.3 yards a carry. It wasn't much.
No.
But you know, you want to make Hurts, you know, beat him with your arm, beat him, you know, with Hurts's arm, then great. I mean, it was, and it was a nice distribution. They got everybody involved in it. They got Jahan Dotson involved in the first quarter. I mean, you know what I mean?
Awesome. Hurts was awesome. I knew he was a winner. I knew he was a winner, dude. I just, you know, for the last few years, I said, dude, when I saw that Super Bowl, the first one, and I saw he was one drive away, I said to myself, this guy can win a Super Bowl. You know, this guy can win a Super Bowl. You know, and I want to, you know, I'm going to take a second and I'm going to apologize to Nick Sirianni. Because I want to apologize to Nick Sirianni officially because I lost confidence in Nick Sirianni last year during that collapse. When that collapse happened, I lost confidence in him. And not only that, but I felt like all the things that they would say about Jalen Hurts was because Nick Sirianni was setting up Jalen Hurts for failure. And I really thought that. But, you know, even though Nick, you know, look, he's not perfect at times. And last year he did deserve some criticism for some things. But you've got to give him credit for the way he coached. I think especially after the bye, he's obviously learned a lot. The players love him. And he's a great coach. We're lucky to have him. And I'm going to go as far as say that I think he's a better coach than Doug Peterson. Because the one thing I like about Nick that he does is the young guys play and develop. Under Doug, it was always go with the veteran. So I was wrong about Nick. Nick was able to bounce back after a historical collapse, change the narrative, and I apologize for not believing him. I definitely do. He proved all of us wrong, and he's a great coach, and I'm glad we got him.
And I think for me, and I agree with 500. I was the exact same way at the end of last year. We both kind of felt the same way, most likely. And then going into this year's off season, I didn't want to hear from him once again. Even during the draft, I didn't want to hear from him this past draft that we had. So it was really a building process of where he was going to take this team and getting this team mentally prepared every single week. Where coming off a win, are they going to act? You know, they're not too high, they're not too low. They're just, you know, they're locked in, staying in the middle, and I got to give it to him. I got to give him all the respect and all the credit.
I think people don't realize how humble this team is, and what I mean by that is like C.J. Gardner-Johnson leaves, he goes to Detroit. Kind of bad things are said on the way out. Howie can let bygones be bygones. C.J. Gardner-Johnson can let bygones be bygones. They could come in. They can work together. They can let go. Whatever happened with Hurts and Nick Sirianni, which was something, they could talk, work it out, and let it go. A.J. Brown and his issues can let it go. And they're very good at forgiving, moving on, and working together. And I don't think many people and many teams can do that with star personalities, dude. I just don't. You know,
no, there's none of that. You're gonna get you know, personalities here and there. Like we've gotten that, but I think the media has taken that to a different level when it's caught on camera or things that happen with teams every single day. So I mean, you're gonna have, like, you know, if somebody has an issue, they're gonna talk about it, and it's a public thing. So
yeah,
you know,
40-6, great name. That's better because it was 40-6 when we pulled our starters.
Garbage time.
You know,
garbage time.
Yeah, he goes, let's effing go, 500 chance. No more 41-33 defense. Listen, the old motto of defense wins championships is back. It definitely showed up in this game. Sean Davis, thank you, man. That's so generous of you, man. Thank you for the generous super chat, man. We appreciate it, man. Thank you. He says, yes. Right. My own perspective, David Super J goes, go Birds. Hey, love the show. Keep up the great work. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Rashad, thank you for super chat. He goes, trade pick 32 for Miles, sign Beck and back. Man, yeah, look, we're going to talk so much about I just can't do it right now. I didn't sleep at all last night.
Well, I got a lot of nitbits from last night, some little bits of news from some of the players that said specific things yesterday. We'll talk about Kellen Moore. There's a lot of stuff that went on yesterday after the celebration and stuff.
Okay.
So,
okay. Aris Turf, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, do you think Kellen is going to stay now? I think Kellen Moore should stay. Well, when I heard that the cap number, what are they, Saints over like 80-something million? I've heard 53 million over, 80-something million over the cap. Like, why would you want to go there and have no quarterback, have no cap space? If he stays in Philly, runs it back one more year, he'll be able to go wherever he wants, whatever open job is there, and he'll be able to pick his people. Just because a job is open and just because it's your first coaching job doesn't mean it's the best job. So I hope he stays. I do. Yeah. I want to run this thing back.
I mean, at the end of when Nick was accepting the trophy, he said, "Oh, Kellen, let's run it back. Kellen, let's run it back one more time." So we got news the night before the Super Bowl. The night before the Super Bowl, we got news that it was going to be announced after the Super Bowl that he was taking the Saints head coaching job, and so far it hasn't happened yet. Nothing yet.
I know.
So maybe we're in luck.
To me, when Nick said that to him, that made me feel like he hadn't made a decision exactly. Maybe he was leaning one way, but maybe he hasn't. Maybe it was still a possibility. Polsky Trucker, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, who would have thought that Avonte Maddox would make a big play? Also, Cooper DeG make that pick six, pound the Flying Dutchman. Man, yeah, we're gonna talk about Coop. Avonte Maddox spent all year rehabbing that big ass toe to get push off on that fourth down play to knock the ball down. Great play. Isn't it interesting though? As soon as Maddox comes in, they go right after him.
They go
right after him.
Yeah.
Trav Davis Super Chat goes, Jake Elliott has a Super Bowl record, most made kicks without a miss. He looked great. I mean, his kicks were right down the middle. I felt good about him. I did.
Nice.
Rashad, thank you for the Super Chat, man. He goes, Dean back on the field next season, 2 in a row. Look, the future of this team is absolutely ridiculous. Even Mark Holmes is starting to say, they remind me of the 90s Cowboys. Yeah, because people are just realizing what we've been saying all year. We weren't talking out of cockiness and arrogance. We were just stating the facts. You got a lot of young guys on this team. They're young. And the nucleus ain't going anywhere. The Hooligans, David Super J goes, Super Bowl champs. That was a nice ring to it. I laugh out. It hurts. Hate has to stop here. Love the content, fellas. I agree, and it should stop. But did you hear Colin Cowherd? He was like, Jalen didn't have to do anything extraordinary. I'm like, it was like the biggest backhanded compliment ever, dude. I'm like, some of these guys, they're just too arrogant to be able to admit when they're wrong.
I mean,
and even
we were said this the night before the Super Bowl. We're like if they shut down the run, this will just help Jalen's case even more in this game, and I think it did. I think it totally did. But
it did. Sean Davis, thank you for Super Chat goes, did you get the stuff I mailed to you? I haven't been to my post office, but I did. I'll go up there. I'll try to go up there tomorrow, but I haven't as of yet. But I'll go up there tomorrow. I didn't sleep all night, and then I think I went to bed about for me 11 o'clock my time this morning. Finally went to sleep, so I'm still tired. I got up at 2:30, so I'm still tired. Trav, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, champions again. Yes, sir. Number 2. Andrew, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, Born and Sweat should be priorities. Love Milton and Becton, but they aren't going to be too expensive. Awesome to see Slay and Graham go out on top. I don't know what Milton's going to be. If I'm a team, I'm trying. If I'll tell you this, I hate to give him ideas. I'm not trying to, but a team like Dallas, I would jump on Milton Williams in a second. Somebody's going to jump on him and give him big money and he's going to want to have a chance to start. Now, if he wants to stay and win championships, then he'll stay. I would love to bring him back.
Even Sweat was talking about like money's great, but like I want to be in a really good situation because knowingly, some of the worst teams will give somebody the most money, but players know when they leave here, they're not going to get it as good. Like they got it good right now, like the unity, the camaraderie. Like you go to another team just because of money and you're dealing with losing season after losing season. There's some guys that don't want that, and guys that come from here that want to get new contracts like Josh Sweat, probably Milt, don't want to get in that situation. So you never know what's going to happen, man. I honestly, I'll be shocked if one of them is signed. I mean, I'll be shocked. The Milt Williams thing just doesn't make more sense to me just because, you're going to be paying Jalen Carter soon. You're going to be paying Jordan Davis soon, so I don't think he makes too much sense to re-sign him.
How about Jordan Davis? Let's talk about boy Jordan Davis.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
up with another big sack. I'm telling you, that NFC Championship game has changed Jordan Davis, man.
Yeah.
He's a new guy. I mean, that looked like pressure off of his back in that championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And then to come out in the Super Bowl and get another sack, yeah, my boy's ready to go. Rashad, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Hunt will easily replace Sweat if he leaves. I mean, dude, Hunt and another guy. He had a sack. Yeah, I mean, dude, they did.
Four-man pass, 26 pressures, 26. Didn't blitz one time in this game. You depend on this four-man rush. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. Iron Mike, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, Sandusky situation is bad. The Saints stuff is worse. Run it back. Kellen, don't be stupid. Love you all. Love this team. Love Hurts. That is my quarterback equal MVP. Me too, man. Me too. Roll Philly Dogs. Thank you for super chat. He goes, Philly Joey, we the champs. Thank you for all you do. What we going to say about Jalen and Nick now? You got to say one of the elite coaching quarterback combinations in the league. Right now, I'll tell you, I'll take Jalen Hurts every quarterback out there. I'll take him over every quarterback. Do you know in both Super Bowls he played Patrick Mahomes? He outplayed him in both Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So he's faced him twice and it's been better. Even though he lost the first Super Bowl to him, he outplayed him in that Super Bowl, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's true.
It's crazy. Jalen Hurts is a winner. People don't like the fact that he doesn't win with the flashy stats that they think a quarterback should have. And I could care less as long as he wins.
I mean, after even winning the Super Bowl, bro, I was waiting for him to crack a smile, even like have a tear roll down. I mean, he acted as if there was like another game next week. I mean, that's the type of guy we have in this building, bro. Even holding the MVP trophy, I think it was this morning, and he was like, looked at the Super Bowl trophy. He's like, I'd rather hold. I think I want. That's the one I've been looking forward to. Like, he doesn't even care about the MVP trophy. He's like, that other trophy is the more important trophy, and like that's the mindset this guy has.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Exactly. 500. Kermit was rattled on the first drive. He looked like headless chicken. Yeah, I mean that defensive line. If you could give the MVP to a group, that defense would have deserved it.
Yes,
they would have, no doubt about it. Bubba says, I'm letting Jordan Davis walk. I could find someone cheaper to give his production easily. I'm not even taking on his fifth-year option. I disagree with you completely.
Yeah, totally.
1,000% disagree. I'm giving him an extension because, one, I probably could get him at a decent price. And two, if you think that he's finished developing after 3 years, I got news for you. It's not true. The guy is still developing. He hasn't had enough time. Look how he played. Look at his production in the biggest 2 games you've had. Okay, he's gone out and made plays. He had 2 sacks in the championship. He had a sack in the championship game, sack in the Super Bowl. On the biggest stage, you're going to tell me that this guy has gone through all the growing pains with the Eagles and now is starting to play, and you're gonna get rid of him for why? So that some other team can get him. And he's great for them. I'm not getting rid of him.
Yeah, especially after 23 when a lot of the defensive players were gassed and disappeared. And he was one of those players that disappeared at the end of the year. So I think they've done a fantastic job with him. I know they lessened his snaps a little bit this season, but like Philly said, the last 2 games, the NFC Championship and this game, he's been a powerhouse, man. Don't want to let him go.
I'm not letting him go. He's got to keep developing. Roll Philly Dogs. Thank you for super chat, my man. He goes, Philly Joey, we the champs. Thank you for all you do. What we gonna say about Jalen Nick now? Oh, I think I read that one.
You did.
But yeah, man. I mean, elite. Alan, thank you for super chat. He goes, why was Sirianni upset and yelling at AJ Brown? I don't know what was going on there. But AJ said something and he said something, and then on the very next play, or next drive, AJ scores a touchdown. All is forgiven. So it was nothing. I feel. Aiden, Shannon Clips. Welcome. Is this me or you?
This is you. I think.
Welcome to Dingback Nation, man. Thank you so much for joining. Trav, thank you for super chat. Does Bradbury get a ring? Yeah, Bradbury's
He
gonna get a
does.
ring. He's there practicing. He's with the team, getting them ready all week. Those guys, they all get rings. Polsky Trucker, thank you for super chat. He goes, you need to make Mark Holmes call you champion on Jacob. Don't answer to anything else. I won't. I already told them, and I'm gonna tell them again that when I go on that show with him, I have to come on last. Like they have to bring Mark. You can't bring me on the same time as Mark. I'm a champion. He's not. So I need to be treated like that. Oh yeah, we're gonna torture him. Believe me. AI, thank you. AI Coconut Guy. Thank you for super chat. He goes, what's good, Philly 500 and Joey? What a game. So can we come up with nickname for our defense? Fly was fly. Yeah, we got to.
Yeah.
Right now, I can't come up with something right off the top of my head. I'm too tired. But give me time. Rashad, thank you for super chat. He goes, they slowed down Barkley, but Kelsey was a no-show. Yeah, I liked, if you watched that game, I mean, they were getting right up on Kelsey, right off the line of scrimmage, dude. They weren't giving them 8,
no
9
space,
yards.
no space,
dude, at all.
No.
And it was so beautiful to see. You know,
Yeah.
I think they were in a way challenging Mahomes to have to go deep on him, and I think it threw Mahomes off. And then that pass rush was so good. One coach that I want to keep. I want to keep that defensive line coach.
Clinton
I think you got to keep him. But the development of those young guys, the Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt, Jordan Davis, Jalen, you got to keep him. So you got to treat him like Stoutland, in my opinion, on the defensive line side. You pay him because I don't want Kellen Moore to go to New Orleans and then give him a defensive coach.
Well, yeah. Well, the good thing is, he's already been a defensive coordinator. So, maybe he won't be a defensive coordinator again. So there's a big chance they could keep probably all their positional guys. So it's a good thing. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, did you hear the Chiefs fans are all upset about calls?
Oh yeah, dude. DeAndre Hopkins was bitching about it after the game. You heard DeAndre Hopkins' interview?
DeAndre Hopkins should shut up and catch the ball. You're wide open in the middle of the field and you drop it.
I know.
It's like if any team should ever be complaining about calls.
I felt like we got even in this game because when we got on offense the first time, they threw that long one to AJ downfield. It was OPI and AJ, which was a bunch of BS. And then the Eagles came back on offense the second time, and then Goddard had there was a helmet to helmet on Goddard, which both those calls were really bad. So I said, you know what, we're even now. But I don't know, ever since the referee association came out with what they said and all this attention going to the Chiefs and the referees and the calls, and I felt like it was pretty damn good, gotta say.
Yeah. Yep. The refs called a fair game, and they aren't used to it. The Chiefs have always played sloppy, but they never got called before. They never get called on it. And I wonder what Nick said to the refs on the AJ Brown pass interference. That was bogus. That was such a bad call. And whatever he said, man, it seemed like it evened it out. Some people are complaining that the hit on Goddard wasn't a bad hit. Okay, fine. But then you get people who are like, oh, the hit on Barkley was okay. That was not an okay hit. That was not a clean hit.
That was a damn blind side.
Yeah. Clark says, yo, Philly, where did you get this replica ring? Oh, this one? Somebody gave it. It was a gift.
Ringlands.com.
It was ringlands.com. Don't go there. I don't know who that is. Don't go there. No, somebody gave it to me as a gift. I couldn't wear it after the 27, after the Super Bowl, after we weren't champs anymore. I'll get the newest one when it comes out too. But
It's like Tony Soprano with that ring.
Yeah. I would keep Milton Williams over Davis, and it ain't even close. It ain't happening.
Damn.
It ain't
It's not gonna happen, bro. It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't
Makes
happening.
no sense to keep Milt. Makes no sense.
I like Milton Williams. I would love to keep him
Love
too.
him.
But man, no. I mean, I just don't get this. You have a guy. We think a guy develops in 2-3 years. If that was the case, Brandon Graham would have been gone long ago, because it took him 5-6 years to start developing. Jordan Davis just played literally the best 2 games of his career in the biggest situation, and you want to throw him away? I'm sorry, dude. I'm not doing it. If you want to keep Milton Williams, fine. Keep them both. Ain't no way I'm letting Jordan Davis go. Philly Rapture, thank you for Super Chat. 3-peat killers. Philadelphia Eagles restored to running the football and playing solid defense in the modern NFL. See y'all at the parade. Go Birds. Hell yeah. I always wondered what it would look like if the Eagles and that 91 defense would have been in a Super Bowl. This, to me, was what I envisioned.
Close to that,
yeah. This is what I envisioned. I mean, when did you feel like, all right, this game's over? It's over. We're winning this game.
Honestly, I think it was after the DeJean pick 6. I mean, that one was good, and I think like when we gave the kill shot to Devontae Smith downfield, I mean, that put us over 30 points. It was pretty much done. I mean, that was pretty much done.
It was over after that.
Yeah.
For me, I felt like, all right, we got a really great chance to win this after the DeJean interception. But I was like, we can't mess with it. You know, we blew a 10-point lead before. So then when the Chiefs came out opening of the half and they had a punt.
Right.
And they didn't, because I felt they had a score on that first drive of the second half. And when they didn't score there, I felt like, all right, we're going to win this game. That's when I felt like we got this. Because we got the ball, we were able to take like 8 minutes off all of a sudden, you know, you start to kill time. They had to score on that drive.
True.
How about DeJean? Cooper DeJean goes out on his birthday, pick 6, first interception of his career.
I said it the other night. I literally
said it in our
other night.
Yeah, pick 6. Yeah.
It's great.
I thought we'd get it. I called a pick 6, but I said at the end of the game to clinch it, you know. It was crazy. Easy is his name. Says the DeJean pick or the damn play action bomb, which, by the way, is the best plays of both Hurts and Smith's career. It was. Dude, I was calling for that play action like the whole game, you know, because they were doing good against the run, and I thought we needed to go to play action. But, you know, what they did is what I really liked was they told Hurts, dude, look, they blitz you, all out blitz, go shoot right up the gap, and you're going to have a giant hole. And that's what he did. He just started running. And you saw the hole. It reminded me of the Giants, the Eagles-Giants game with Vic, when the big comeback, where they kept blitzing Vic the whole game. And in the first half, couldn't deal with it. And in the second half, he just started taking off. That's what it reminded me.
What was it? 11 carries for like 70-something yards. I mean, they were
70-something yards. I think.
Yeah, they were reading everything. I mean, even they tried running Barkley up the middle. They tried running him outside, and then they started to do some things with running. Letting Jalen kind of keep it for himself, running to the outside. They were just reading everything at that point. But when it happens naturally, when the defense is spread out, and and they have to account for Saquon Barkley and everybody spread out, man, Hurts looked I don't know. There's just certain times where Hurts doesn't hesitate. He runs upfield and he looks fast. I mean, he looks like he's got this big. We always thought like he lost this big built of speed like over the years, but
he had it. He had it yesterday. And Terry says Milton only 25. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, look. I mean, look. Maybe they'll keep him. I hope they find a way to keep him. But. I don't know. I will say this. I think Ojomo is developing like Milton Williams was a few years ago. He's looking pretty good himself, Yep. So it's hard to keep everybody. I don't think you can let Zach Bowen go. Like, I don't see how that's an option. You have to keep him. So you have to keep Zach Bowen. And then you have to figure out what you want to do with Mekhi Becton. Now, Mekhi Becton, I think there's a chance that he might be like, I'm not leaving. I found my career stout, and I'm going to try to stay.
He'd be
You know,
stupid to leave. He'd be
yeah,
dumb to leave.
yeah. I mean, if they could bring Milton Williams back, I'm all for it.
So
You know,
it was
but
the
we'll
media
see.
day. The media day was interesting because Howie Roseman said, like, why, the reason why he doesn't resign guys in season, I think maybe when you're on a spectacular run like this, because you don't want a resign to be a distraction, because other players that are going to be free agents that want to get paid are going to say, well, what about me? And what about me? So I thought that was I never really thought of it that way as being a distraction, but I guess it could become one if you start paying guys during the year and while your season is going the way it keeps your guys hungry for getting that contract so they don't feel fulfilled in the season that they don't have
But
to
it
work
doesn't feel
for
like
it.
you're picking sides either.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense. And yes, it's going to cost you a little bit more money. I
Mm-hmm.
get it, but it's well worth it. And I think Howie's right about that. Listen, maybe he'll sign Milton Williams. Maybe we'll find a way to get it done, and he'll just pay 3 defensive tackles. Maybe they just pick up Jordan Davis's 5th year. He's only going into his 4th year, so you just pick his 5th year option. That gives you 2 more years with him, and you still got him under a rookie deal for 2 more years. You sign Milt Williams, maybe a 3-year deal or something like that. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, they can make it work.
Yeah.
T-Puff says we will have the cap to resign Bond and Becton and can franchise tag Williams. I would absolutely re-sign Burks. He played so good for a backup. He could be a starter here. Yeah, Burks did play good. He did. I don't know if he'll stay or not. We'll see what happens with Burks.
The problem you have at linebacker right now is you have 2 guys coming off of knee injuries. Like Ben Van Sermon's coming off a knee injury as well. I mean, he got hurt a lot. I think it was before the Ravens game. It was right before the Ravens game at practice. So, I mean, 2 guys are coming off some serious. I don't know if Ben Van Sermon's knee injury is more serious, but obviously, the patellar tendon injury with Nakobe Dean is very serious. So, there is no wasting time. The number one re-signed. The number one guy is Zach Bond. It's the number one guy,
without question.
100%.
He ain't going anywhere this year. Like if I have to franchise tag him, I will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not letting him walk. You just can't do it. And I think Bond likes it here. I think he found a place where he's used properly. There's no guarantee he goes somewhere else and they use him right.
Right.
I think you got to pay Bond. I think he has to be your number one priority. I look at a guy like Josh Sweat and I just wonder, like, I don't know. I don't know if he'll come back. I think with Nolan Smith, I think with Jalix Hunt, I would not be surprised to see the Eagles go make a move for Myles Garrett. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we just have to wait and see. But I mean, there's a lot of choices to figure out what to do, But the one mistake the Eagles made when they won in 2017 is they brought everybody back, and everybody was a fat cat. They were Super Bowl champions. They didn't come and have that hunger that they did the year before. And I think there's certain turnover. I think a certain amount of turnover is good, and to bring in guys that are hungry.
Because this organization, us fans, are not used to developing players. We're used to. I mean, look, after the Super Bowl, they made everybody fat cats. They paid everybody the next 2 years. They kept restructuring contracts, kicking the can down the road, more guaranteed money up front, bigger cap hits later. And what resulted in that? Bad drafting at the time, and it finally caught up to us. And you were over the caps. I forgot what year they were, like $70-something million over the cap, and they had to make room to get under the cap. I mean, you want to be under the cap every single year. The more that you hit the draft, and the more, like, you're going to have to let guys go. It's part of the process. The more you draft well, and the more you can have for free agency, and the more money you can spend. So you got to produce.
Like here's an example: Darius Slay. Darius Slay says he wants to play 1 more year.
Yes,
and then he wants to retire. All right. So now he's got a Super Bowl ring. He's going to play 1 more year going out. Is he going to be hungry, or is he just going to enjoy the year? Whatever happens, happens. He's going to enjoy his last year before retirement. Or is he hungry to go out and win? That's what I'm saying. You put a guy like Ringo. Let's say Ringo starts. Ringo's going to be pumped up. He's starting. He's going to be highly motivated. So like, those kind of things I think you've got to look at in terms of turnover. Now, like let's say Brandon Graham says, I want to come back one more year. I would
Yeah.
do that for cheap because Brandon Graham is one of those guys that is always going to give you his all.
He's
no
never
matter what.
satisfied. He's never satisfied.
Yeah.
No.
But,
Yeah.
But some guys, they become fat cats, man. You look at, I knew when coming out of the lock of the tunnel, you could see the faces on the Chiefs and the faces on the Eagles. The one group were hungry. The other guys were like, they thought they were just going to be given this trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Even on the sideline, even when the players, like I saw usually AJ and Devontae are like, they're messing around. Like they were just sitting, looking forward. Like they were locked. They were
locked in, man.
Mm-hmm.
Roll Philly Dogs, thank you for super chat. He goes, we got to give Dotson some love. He did what Quez couldn't.
No.
I know, he actually caught it. How about that, dude? He actually caught it. Yeah, he played good, man. Now, is he under contract next year?
Yeah, he's only going to cost like a little over $3 million against the cap, so he's really cheap.
I keep him. I think you need a tight end to draft. Yeah. I think you need to draft another running back. I think you need obviously another pass rusher.
Yes.
And I really want to keep that defensive line coach, dude. I want to keep him and my linebacker coach. Dre Diesel, thank you for super chat. He goes, we did it, boys. Been playing Rocky theme song all day. Why pay Miles and not pay Milton? Seems like a waste of our number one pick. Go Birds. Milton isn't a number one pick. But Milton he's behind two other guys. And you got Ojomo. So if you were to get Garrett, you're getting a defensive player of the year on the edge. That would be the difference. Where Milton is going to split carries with those guys, and he's behind in the depth chart. That would be the reason why.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be cheaper to trade for Myles Garrett than to trade up from 32 to 15 to 13 to how much? What you think a team is going to let us just trade all the way up there without giving away the farm?
I'll tell you right now, I have no interest in drafting at 32.
No, I don't either.
None. I'm trading back. If I can't pull like a Garrett trade, I'm trading that back for a mid-second round pick, maybe a couple second round picks. I may even trade it for a first round pick next year. I may say to a team, all right, you want to come up here, give me a first round next year. You can have
he's done that in the past.
Yeah, he's done it in the past. And then all of a sudden you have 2 first round picks. Like I'm not picking 32. No, because why? Because you're gonna have to pay a guy first round money with the last pick in the draft in the round. Beast Guard, they were super, and maybe you do want to in a way because then you get the option year on the contract. So it just depends who's there.
Right.
Beast Guard, thank you for super chat. It's crazy how our rookies, second and third year players helped us so much. They were the difference, man. They were. And that's what I was saying. Like. If you remember under like Doug, it was like always go the veterans. It was always the older veteran guys. They let the young guys play. I mean, we talked about it. Remember, this goes back to Bijan Robinson. Okay, remember what we said? If Jalen Carter and the other kid, I can't think of his name, from Houston, if those two guys are off the board, then we're picking Bijan Robinson. And people are like, why would you want a running back? Make your offense stronger. And then you get young defensive players and you let them play and let your offense carry you. And that was the philosophy with Saquon Barkley, too. It was the same philosophy. And they did that. They got Saquon in there, and then they went and they got a bunch of rookies like Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper, and they let them play. And all these young guys played all year long, in the playoffs, in a Super Bowl. Now you go into next year. Look at these young guys on rookie contracts
with Super Bowls connected to their names.
Super Bowls who are all experienced. This team is this defense is going to be scary. It's gonna be
Fangio don't play favorites. Fangio is like, if you earn your snaps in practice, you start liking a guy, he'll play you, and he will throw in anybody. And in the regular season, that's how good we are, because he could throw in whoever he wants to see if what they could do in a successful situation with the line that they have right now. And I like we have to open up a little bit more to producing players, like even if it's at a slow level, they get their chance, and you're not going to go in a free agency this March next month and we're going to spend it's not going to happen unless it's re-signs to maybe one player. I could see that, but any further than that, I don't see it.
Yeah.
So
Cody, Stacy, thank you for the super chat. Been a while, boys. Of course, the biggest stars of the Super Bowl are our free agents. Shaking my head. Either way, Super Bowl champs and Hurts haters are silenced. Whoa. Yeah. Well, listen, Bourne definitely, but I mean, look, even if Becton was to go, that offensive line is set in place for the next few years. You've got the running back, you got the receivers, you still got the tight end. Defensively, you got a lot of guys on that defensive line. You have Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt, Jordan Davis. You still have Nakobe Dean, and hopefully you bring Bourne back. I think if you bring Bourne back, I think you're fine. And then you have that secondary is pretty much set to go.
Your offense is pretty much locked. Besides Kenny G, Fred Johnson, I mean, other than that, you're pretty much set offensively.
Yep. Aiden Shannon Clips, thank you for super chat. Kenny Pickett has more Super Bowl rings and passes than Dak. It's so funny. See, I'm gonna kill Mark all season because he said Kellen Moore would choke and cost us a playoffs, and we win a Super Bowl with him. So he has to pay. He has to pay the price for that. Dalton, thank you for super chat. He goes, I hope we can work it out with Mackay, seeing how much appreciate what Stout did for him. He manhandled Chris Jones last night. Yeah, I want to bring him back too. You feel like you want to bring everybody back in a way, but I don't know that you can. So, you have to pick and choose who. I think Bourne is foundational piece to that defense. And I think with the Nakobe Dean injury, you need him. Becton is such a young, talented player at right guard. I mean, if you can have him there, you solidify that for years to come. Maybe you kick him out to right tackle when Lane leaves. So, there's value there. We're just going to have to
start seeing what you have next offseason with Tyler Steen with another offseason under his belt, with the guy from Michigan, see what you have there, because you might have something there.
Yeah. Whatever they decide with the line, the way I look at it is I'm okay with it because I trust Stoutland.
Yes.
That's the main thing. If you guys are new, hit that like, make sure you subscribe, click the link in the description. So my man Joey Shakes, we got over 1,000 people watching. We thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
JMB, Josh and Milton can go. I trust Howie to keep the D-line good. Smith and Hunt are future studs. Becton must resign. So is Bourne. We're in a great spot. We are in a great spot. Listen, I think that I want to keep Milton. I do. I like him. But I think Ojomo is starting to become a player, man. Ojomo makes plays, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was like a 7th-round pick that flashed in pass rush, but like a good run stuffer. But he has really come up big for this team, man. Huge.
Yeah. I agree. William Travis, thank you for super chat. Goes, Bourne needs to be resigned. After that, our money is spent on making the team stronger. Let's not forget the young guys are only going to get better. It's scary. It is scary. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have to do much of free agency. I think you add one piece, preferably like an edge rusher. Like I would like to see them go out and get Garrett. It's not the end of the world if they don't get him. But I think you add one piece, you assign your own players, and then you focus on the draft. And what I would do in the draft off the top of my head, and we'll see when we start to study these players, but I would trade back and get more picks and try to end up with like 11 picks coming in. You know what I mean? The ability of these coaches to develop these players is so key.
Yes.
And I think that's the big advantage Nick had over Doug. He develops his young guys. Jacqueline Kemp, thank you for a super chat. I hope and pray that we keep as many guys as possible. That's how you build a dynasty. We're so sad to see how things unraveled in 2017 Super Bowl. Yeah, a lot of those guys. The difference between 2017 and this is those guys were older. You had Chris Longs, you had Jason Peters, you had guys that were all at the end of their year of their career. Torrey Smith, right? So with these guys now, they're all young. They're all young. And now you got a Super Bowl MVP quarterback. Like you look at Saquon Barkley. Look how hungry he was to come to Philly. I mean, he was hungry to win, and you need that hungry to win. And so I think a certain amount of turnover is actually good because you want guys that are hungry to win. And Belichick has talked about it a lot about how he would do that. The thing is you got to figure out who is the right guy to keep, who's got the right mentality, who doesn't, who is just satisfied with the way things are. So, that's something that's hard for us to do. We can't do that. We can only talk about positions really by depth. We don't know those internals, but
right.
I think you got to try to keep all the coaches that you can, especially the defensive side ball. I don't want to lose any coaches. I don't. Bold Brute, thank you for the super chat. He goes, I think Trotter replaces Bond. Bond will want $18 million. I just can't do that.
It's not that easy to say that, though. You can't just say that he just replaces him.
I mean, I think Trotter's going to be good, but I just can't get rid of Bond. Not a defensive player of the year.
Nah.
And then to pull up in the Super Bowl dude, that interception was tremendous. Dude. That diving interception.
Dude, I thought
called it. He called it. Did you see that on the sideline before it? After DeJean gets one, he goes, I'm going to get me one. I'm going to get me one.
I thought the cherry on top was like the strip sack. Bill Williams had the strip sack on Mahomes, and like Carter just like punches him in the face. It drops him to the ground. That was so great. I loved it.
Oh, they hit the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
David Superchat, agree. Bond has to be our top priority. Remember how bad we wanted Patrick Queen? Us wondering just how bad Devin White had to be for some dude named Zach Bond to take his spot. Never saw this come. No, look, even the Eagles admit they didn't see it coming. They thought they were getting a really good special teams guy who
backup outside linebacker. That's what they thought they were getting.
He's that good. I just don't think he's only 27. You gotta sign him, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Trotter will get his time. Trotter's day will come. N'Kobe, I don't know when he's gonna be ready. So, we'll see. Beastguard 24, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Hunt and Ajomo are future stars. We have so much young depth. I'd rather us keep going down the road than trade it all for Garrett. What do you all think? Well, I don't think Ajomo or Hunt affect whether you get Garrett or not. The reason I like Garrett is because he's desperate to win.
Yes.
I'm bringing in a guy who's a defensive player of the year, right? We know defensively on edge, you use rotation. You rotate these guys. So it's not one or the other. So to me, you're going to bring in a guy who I look at it like he's going to come in as hungry as Barkley was, last year. I want guys that are hungry to want to win. I don't want guys that are like, I won, all right, I'm satisfied, I'm just going to enjoy the off season. I'm going to, go into next year. If we win, we win. If we lose, whatever, I got my ring. I want to avoid.
You don't know what it's going to cost. It might not be, everyone thinks it's going to be a couple it might not be what you expect it to be. So
do I think it's going to happen? No, I'm not really counting on it. And I do agree Hunt is going to be a star too. I mean, he showed up late in the season, but you still need another pass rusher because you're going to lose possibly Sweat and then you're going to lose Brandon Graham. So you're going to have to add it one way or the other, Big Dom, David Super Chat, he goes, Keenan this year was not showing our cards on off. Yeah, I hear you. Mark Meadows, thank you for super chat. He goes, I wasn't alive when we won the first championship in the 60s, but I'm here now. Yeah, me too. Well, that actually their first championship was in the 40s, I believe. The late 40s.
Another thing that happened too is before the game started, and we talked about this the night before, about there was like the speculation of Bryce Huff being a healthy scratch for this game, and he's not even active. He was inactive for this game. So what does that? I mean, you got to do something with that contract. Like they're not even playing.
That's going to be the key to whether they go after a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby. Is what do they think about Huff? If they think like, all right, well, Huff, it's just bad year, injuries, he'll be fine, then they're not going to do anything there. If they decide that he's got to go, then they're going to get rid of him. But I'm definitely worried about him.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah.
Dez, David Super J goes, quarterback one, shut them all up. Better than Allen, Burrow, Lamar. I think we should pass on Garrett if it means keeping Sweat, Milton, Williams, and this D together. I don't know if one is going to affect the other. Well, it does affect the other, but I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what they're thinking about Sweat. I don't know that they're going to sign Sweat back. They might look at Sweat and go, all right, guy just had 2.5 sacks at Super Bowl. He's going to demand close to $30 million. Do we want to pay him that kind of money, or do we want to pay Garrett? I'm just saying, it's early yet. We'll start to find out early. After the parade. It's hard to know.
Yeah.
William Travis David Super Chat goes, 2 years ago, phone blew up after we lost to the Chiefs. Bitter cowgirl 49ers mad after we blew them out. And all other Eagles haters, what are they going to say now? They can't say nothing. Mark Holmes is starting to tell people that the Eagles are the 90s Cowboys reborn. Eddie David Super Chat goes, happy Victory Monday. You too, my man. My compadres. Do you think the Eagles will prioritize defensive end all season, giving pressure Eagles create with the front four? I don't know. I don't know to what levels, but I think they're going to they're going to have to do something there, because Sweat's a free agent, and if he comes back and you sign Sweat, look, if they sign Sweat, I'm not going to complain about it.
No,
I'm fine with it. That's perfectly fine, But if he does go, you got to figure something out, and then you got to lose Brandon Graham. So I think they'll do something there. If they sign Sweat, they may just draft another pass rusher. I mean, Nolan Smith's a star. I think Jalen Hunt is on his way. So, maybe they're all right. Maybe you just let those guys play.
Yeah.
To them go out and play. And I can live with that too. Then use that money on your linebacker, right? Maybe if you say we can sign Sweat at a good price, maybe you do bring back Milton. I mean, look, everything is possible, right now.
With how he does.
Mark, are you David? Are you hanging a new Super Bowl? Oh, of course, yeah. We'll hang a new one. Dalton, David Super J goes, what are we going to do for an offensive coordinator there? Is there anybody left? Not a huge fan of promoting somebody unknown, letting Nick back in his bag. I think that Patullo guy, which is like the assistant coach, I think he's going to get promoted to offensive coordinator.
That's going to be the move. That's going to be the move, 100%.
That's what I think. That's what I think will happen. Andrew David Super J goes, remember wanting Reddick over Sweat? Oof. Well, I mean, what? He was only getting 15 sacks a year. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's a closer.
I mean,
man.
Look, let's not pretend that. See, I don't agree with the assertion that, well, see, we got rid of Reddick and now look at our defense. They're good because of that. Like I don't believe that Reddick was the cancer people make it.
No,
I really don't. But people act like he was like the bad guy or he was the fall guy because of what happened. I don't believe any of that. I think he just wanted a lot of money. They were just as close to letting Sweat go as Reddick. They both were. It was said that both of those guys did not play, but to pad their stats that year. It wasn't just Reddick.
I don't think there's a bad
So,
relationship either, because it's like $14.5 million, one more year on his deal for $14.5 million. I mean, that's very underpaid, man. That's
yeah.
I don't know what that ranks. It wasn't much. So the Eagles knew they were going to be dealing with a holdout from him, and it was no bad, there wasn't no bad blood or anything like that. So that the Eagles decided to rip the Band-Aid off and get rid of him. Do I think they probably should have got more for him? I wish they did, but a third round conditional for 26, the Eagles will get the third round pick most likely now for 26. So,
That's good. Yeah. Jacqueline Kemp, thank you for super chat. Are we still playing Bradbury? Well, this year we were. I don't think he's going to be around, right? They're going to get out of that contract now, right?
Yeah,
I think they can get out of the contract. I don't know what it is exactly, but they can get out of it now. I think they had to wait 1 year. It was just too much to get rid of him. Now I think they will. So he'll be gone. He'll be gone. But look, I think this team is about to win another 2 or 3 Super Bowls. This is just the start. I think this team, like I said, I think we're in the golden era of Eagles football. I think they're going to repeat. I think a lot of people got shocked about how talented and young they are. And we might lose players here or there. It's going to happen, but it's not going to change how good this team is. They're still that good.
And the thing is, it's like that comes down to the good coaching behind, like, continuing with a constant, which means you have a constant coordinator that's here that knows every layer of your defense, because Fangio's not. See, if we're switching DCs after this year, that would really, that would ruin everything, because new guys come in, they might not like certain players on this team and want to change the way they do things. But with Fangio here, look, they might not sign Sweat, might not sign Milton Williams. They might keep what they have and just draft some guys and just say whatever and just keep producing and see what they have in camp and then make a trade later on. I mean, who knows? We have to get used to things. Just take time, and we have to be patient. That's all.
Yeah, agree. As Philly says, got to keep homegrown talent and build through the draft. Some players might want to ring chase with the Eagles in free agency for cheap. Yeah, some guys will, and you've got to be careful of that. You do, But like a legacy player, to me, like a legacy player like a Myles Garrett, who's a perennial defensive player of the year. He was up for a defensive player of the year award. I take a chance on him. A guy like that, I think. I don't think he's going to just try to ring chase. Well, in some ways he will, but if he comes in and he's hungry and he gives you everything he has and he gives you 14, 15 sacks, I have no problem with it. But there's certain guys that, definitely got to stay away from.
Do you think this will be an attractive destination for free agents?
I think it's very attractive. I think it's one of the most premier destinations. And I don't think they should really go away from their homegrown talent. I definitely don't think they would, but you can't let Zach Bond go because he wasn't drafted by you. So you have to each individual case, if Josh Sweat, if they could work a deal out with him, I've got no problem with it. Do it. Then if the Eagles said, hey, look, we're gonna let Jalen Hunt start on opposite Nolan Smith, I'm all for it. I trust that. Especially if you have the defensive line coach you have. But you got to have a balance, I think.
That's true.
Like I said, I believe that certain amount of turnover is necessary. I'm not saying big pieces necessarily, but I think a certain amount of turnover is necessary to stay and make sure that your nucleus of your team stays hungry.
Right.
Let's see here. If you don't want to play hard and push yourself, we don't trust you. Yeah, I agree. 500, you would like to make a cigar with Hertz? Would I like to make a cigar? Yeah, sure. I'll have smoke a cigar with him. Freilich says, so Presley's 5 champions in that span, one every 20 years is a bad thing. You can't make this delusional logic. Who said, wait, what? I don't know what's going on. Crazy RPF. Look, it's RPF.
Yo.
8500 and Joey sleeping in the house. I already told Joey that I'm going to retire from YouTube after Super Bowl 59 when I'm moving on with my life. I enjoy watching this podcast. Well, we love you, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Good luck to you.
Definitely. Good luck, man.
You know, but that's cool. That's cool. At least you're going out with a Super Bowl. You know, it'll be an interesting off season. First thing we got to figure out is what's the deal with the coach. Like, if Kellen Moore goes to New Orleans, how many coaches does he take with him? You know, can we keep our defensive coordinator, our secondary coach? Like, I want to keep those guys. I don't want them to go, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I know it's still early. We still have, obviously, the parade on Friday. So, I mean, we got the news the night before the Super Bowl, like I said earlier in the stream, that it will be announced after the Super Bowl that Kellen Moore is the next head coach. Now, I know Kingsbury was like the first option. I heard news the other day. He was supposed to be the first option, but obviously staying with Washington another year. So, we haven't heard anything yet. Could happen in an hour from now, 5 minutes from now. I don't know, but nothing. I mean, the way Nick said that at getting while getting the trophy and saying, Kellen, stay one more year. Like, why would you even go out? I mean, why would you even say that? You know, like,
yeah.
If he knows he's gone, like, why would he even say that? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Steve says, well, we are all going to have some turnover. We are not keeping Sweat or unfortunately Milton Williams. I really believe this team will stay hungry. That's how Dimes. Oh, look, I think this team's repeating. I'll tell you right now, they're repeating. This is the golden era of Eagles football. I think this is our run where we get 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls, you know, maybe 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, something like that. Like, I think we took over and we took it from the Chiefs. This team is young. They're talented. They're good. Most of their guys, their starters are signed and have contracts. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, they're already signed through 2028. I mean, this team's not going anywhere, and there will be turnover, and it sucks. And I hope we can keep all the guys that we can. You know, I do, but there will be some turnover, and some of it will be necessary. Do I think, like we mentioned Myles Garrett? The only reason I mentioned Myles Garrett is because he requested a trade. Other than that, I don't think it's going to happen. Like, I'm not putting a lot of stock in it happening. I don't think it's going to. But I know that the Eagles need to get guys that want to win championships in. And that's also through the draft. The draft is the key. Keep drafting well. That's the main thing. I mean, Howie has gone out and drafted well. You know, you look at the drafts from Devontae, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Quinyon, Cooper. I mean, you look at the amount, Nolan Smith, those draft picks are all hitting. And that's why we're at where we are. So at the end of the day, you got to keep hitting the draft picks.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not going to pick until at least 32. So I say trade and get as many picks as you can get, and let's get guys in.
So we have some new news regarding Nick Sirianni. Obviously, his contract is up. So this was from Adam Schefter on the Pat McAfee show. Says the Eagles are expected to give Super Bowl winning head coach Nick Sirianni a new extension that will pay him more annually than Bears gave Ben Johnson. That is,
and he should, and he should. Well deserved, and I think that Nick deserves it.
Yep.
Could buy a lot of cannolis for that contract that's coming. OG Kush, member for 22 months. Thanks so much because we Evan did it again. Go Birds, Super Bowl champs. Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, look, I know we're talking a lot about what they could do. I'm just going to enjoy this week.
Yeah,
going to enjoy the week as champion. And then get through the parade. And once that parade's over, then we can start. I'm going to start focusing on, all right, what's next? You know what I mean? But right now, man, you just got to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Soloso, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, Lions now know if we can get a ring, they can too. Why? They couldn't beat us. Lions weren't going to beat the Eagles. Eagles were going to go to Detroit and beat the crap out of them. You know, I don't think the Lions are as good as the Eagles.
They just lost most of their coaching staff and their assistant coaches.
We'll see where the Lions are at. I mean, I think they're good. I don't think they're as good as the Eagles. I think the Eagles would have went to Detroit and beat them. I mean, Washington already did it for us, so you know. No, Andy Reid said he's not retiring. No, Reid said he's not retiring. 500. This was more of a beatdown than what the Bucs did to the Chiefs. This was more. Yeah, this was very much like that Broncos Seahawks Super Bowl. I agree. I agree with you. Andy, I think so. He's one more season. He's done. Yeah, well, maybe one more. Yeah, but he's definitely coming back next year. Danny, thank you for super chat. He goes, "Have you seen the toxic Swift fans leaving fake bad reviews on Gardner's
Oh,
mom's
I
restaurant?"
saw that.
What?
Yeah.
Jason didn't acknowledge the win either. Jason Kelsey didn't acknowledge the win. Really? What?
Nope.
Gardner Johnson's mom's restaurant?
Yeah, they left all these bad, like I saw like someone took a screenshot of all these bad reviews. Like someone just left all bad
Really?
reviews on it. Yeah.
Jeez, what a bunch of assholes.
But no, Jason Kelsey hasn't. He's been weird, man. He's been weird like before the Super Bowl. It's been like saying, I don't know. He's been like playing both sides of the fence. His wife does it, his wife doesn't, but him, I don't even freaking know.
He's going for. I'm sorry, dude. If you want, I believe in his heart. He's going for his brother.
I know he was.
I mean, I think he's going for his brother. It's his brother. He can't, and I don't blame him. He can't help it. You know, he's not playing in it. I get it. But dude. Somebody said I have Kelsey fatigue. I agree. I don't need to see. I have no problem. I don't need to see him anymore. Like I need a.
You haven't really ever since he cried during that press conference. We haven't even missed him at all because just what he is now. So it's just getting tiring now.
Yeah, Danfield needs to kiss your ass. Like we're gonna get into him. I'm going after him too by going there. He's gonna have to eat crow, lots of crow. Him and Mark Holmes, a lot of crow eating. But man, we're Super Bowl champs. I think the off season will take care of itself. We'll have a lot of time to talk about that. A lot of time. But enjoy this week. Enjoy this win. That's what I want to do this week. I want to just enjoy this week. Get ready for the parade. And it should be a lot of fun. But we can maybe, if you want, I don't know if you're doing for the parade, but we could maybe dual stream because I'm going to take off that day and stream it while it's going on since I can't be there.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Pathology says you could root for your brother to do well individually, but still be for the birds. I don't like what Jason pulled here. Yeah, it's a tough situation. It is, but I hear you. His brother's already got a bunch.
It's not even. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His brother's got a bunch of rings. He literally beat you in the Super Bowl. You guys made you made an Amazon movie because of it, and the way Jason was so fucking depressed over it, like you would think like you would want the Eagles to just get one up on the fucking Chiefs.
Do you think he feels like, damn it, why did I leave? Why did I retire? One more year, I could have had another Super Bowl.
He left off of a really bad year that left a bad taste in his mouth. But if his body just couldn't hold up, maybe his body was a lot worse than we expected. I mean, we don't know, but
yeah. A Warrior Ray says, thank you for Super Chat. Travis looked like Gordon Bombay, the asshole one. Chris, remember, I don't know, is this me or you?
It's you.
Welcome to Dingbat Nation, my man. Welcome to Dingbat Nation. But I mean, is there anything? I mean, we're over an hour in. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get on out here?
Are you buying any Super Bowl merch?
It's already on the way.
What'd you get?
Oh, I got the champion hat. I got two T-shirts. I got my wife a shirt, and I got my two kids a shirt.
Oh, nice.
Like champion. Yeah. I don't know if it's on the way, but I ordered it. Dude, I was up all night last night. What do you think I was doing? Like,
probably didn't text. Probably didn't text me last night.
I know. I didn't know if you were sleeping or what was going on. I was in my own. I was having my own little party. Everybody was asleep. I was downstairs having my own little party. King of the Nerds, thank you for Super Chat. Thank you all for what you do. We deserve this win. Let's go, Birds. Yes,
thanks,
absolutely. Everybody was asleep in my house. I'm downstairs partying, chips, and watching the game again. It was great. But I didn't go to sleep till like 11 o'clock this morning.
Fuck.
Rat Lot, Dave Super Chat. Such a complete win. Shipley running back 2 next year. Yeah, I think very well could be. Very well could be.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. I think we're going to get on out of here. We're champions. I got to go shine my ring. And
go get your shine box.
Make sure. Go get your
fucking shine box.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah.
These Cowboy fans have to get the shine box. But now I'm gonna go shine my ring. We're Super Bowl champs, and I'm gonna live it up.
That's it. Enjoy, everybody.
Guys, we love you. Congratulations. You're Super Bowl champs.
Yep.
We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's
Oh,
over. It's
shit.
over. This game is over. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay.
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott.
Where
Trying to feed the sea lamb. Trying to feed the sea lamb. You tried to feed the sea lamb. You tried to give it the sea lamb. God. It's over. It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk.
It is now for us to win the game.
It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.